Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Well, That Sucks. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'd like to let you know that I definitely didn't accidentally overlook that I had made another Well, That Sucks video under a month ago and go to start to do a video on this only to be like, why are there so many repeating posts? The cross posts on Reddit are getting crazy. Oh, wait, this is way too many repeating posts. Frick. I missed the last Well, That Sucks video when I was making sure that I hadn't done one in a month. Well, I guess that sucks. Let's start off with number 19. The lid wasn't closed. This looks like the scene of a murder. One that I've definitely never seen before that wasn't also number 19 when I just so happened to look at the Well, That Sucks subreddit accidentally a little bit early. Anyway, you must be more careful when you are walking around with your glass of fake blood. You're going to need to make sure that you first make it to the set of Iron Lung before you drop it, because this looks out of place for the scene, the scenario. My turn for the weekly Lost My Earbud post. I'm pretty sure I dropped it around here. I can't find it, though. Sun goes down in 30 minutes. But anyway, hey, guys. So if you were wondering at all why we did a video on Find the Sniper, the subreddit, it may or may not have been because of what happened here. And then this post came along, and we were like, oh, I said, this reminds me of that one subreddit where you find things, Find the Sniper. And then we kept going. We were like, frick, I messed up. I messed up on this Well, That Sucks. Maybe we should do a video on Find the Sniper. And but what ended up happening is nobody could see if there were no earbuds in either of these photos of any rocks. I can see a cigarette there. And I think there was even a cigarette on the other side, possibly. But no headphones. Oh, yeah, no, wait, there's a cigarette. Oh, my God, there's another cigarette. Wow. If you dropped your earbud on a used, discarded cigarette, I'd be like, I'm thinking twice about putting this one in my ear anymore. But yeah, lots of cigarettes, not so many earbuds. So I guess that's unfortunate. The more unfortunate thing is the cumulative amount of time waste of people looking at those photos being like, surely there's an earbud somewhere, only for there not to be. Never seen this car on my block. They must have been too embarrassed to park it at home. Okay, so the funny thing is you could interpret this as they were too embarrassed to park a BMW i8 at home. I'm not a big fan of BMW i8s. I'm sorry. If anybody watching this has a BMW i8, I hope you like it, and that's what matters most. But also, you see, here, the thing is, people do this to their own car for attention, right? Every time that you see this on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, and it's always like cheater, terrible person, hate you, sucks, whatever, all this stuff. It's always they just do it themselves, and they're just either it's just for attention or they're trying to promote something, but it's like never actually a real thing that was done by a disgruntled partner. It's not, it just doesn't happen. So anyway, self-imposed. They don't seem to be taking great care of their car otherwise, though, to be fair, because it seems like it needs a little bit of a wash, maybe. That is, despite my not being a big fan of the i8, it is a car that I would think you'd want to keep in a garage if you lived in a snowy environment rather than street park it. But what do I know? I've never lived in a place where it snows. Also don't particularly want to. So hopefully I can keep that up. Anyway, the service of this Maybach didn't go as planned. I mean, I saw this last time, but it still hurts quite a bit. Gah. It's, what probably happened here is what they were doing is they'd seen all those videos of the Maybach GLS doing its little bouncy suspension thing. And they were like, hey, What if we did the bouncy suspension thing while the car is on the lift, and then the wheels will just go like this, and it will look really funny, right? Normally the car goes up and down, but if the car is stationary on the lift, then the wheels will just go. And then they did it, and then it fell, and it died. And that was the end. I wonder if it's totaled. It may well be totaled. That could have really, like, tweaked some frame right there. So, anyway. Found out my favorite sandwich plate was uranium glass. Huh? What? Oh, is it? First off, I was like, is this thing freaking glowing on its own? And then I realized, oh, that's like a black light that's behind it. Well, okay. So, as we know from Minecraft, you guys, yellow cake uranium is very tasty. That's why it's called yellow cake, because it tastes like cake. So, you probably just get a little bit extra cakey flavor in all your food. So if you use this for dessert, cake, for example, for your birthday, then you would just be getting a little extra cake with your cake. So I think this is probably a good thing. Also, though, is this real? Has anybody ever been like, hey, you know what? Let me put radioactive material into dinnerware? Like, I don't know. Was this just after it was discovered and it was like glowy or something? And they were like, oh, you know, it'd be really cool to have glowing plates. Wait, this is a real thing? Uranium glass is a thing? Okay. Pre-50s? Did people just think, oh, this is kind of cool. It can like glow and then it's extremely common. It was extremely common to make, glow in the dark dishes. Hey, still glows better than a glow squid, I guess. That's wild. Did you ever think to like wonder why your plate glowed? Because I'd be wondering why my plate glowed. But I don't know, maybe that's just me. Ever heard of lead paint and asbestos? Sure, but we knew radioactivity was bad. That was not a new thing. All right? We did not, like, after we didn't go through World War II and not realize that radiation is bad. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Saved my favorite childhood glass from getting thrown away, only to drop it 5 minutes later. Okay, here is where I'm going to repeat my story that I said last time we were here, which is what this reminds me of. When I was a wee lad, like 5 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, my mom and I shared a house with the owners of the house. So basically one side of the house they lived on, the other side of the house we lived on and rented from them. And they had 4 daughters. And one of them was like just about my age, maybe a year younger or something like that. And there was this blown glass place. And I was like on the beach. It was like a tourist shop. And we went in and I saw this little turtle guy. And I was like, this is the coolest thing. He's like this little colorful blown glass turtle, tiny little thing. Tiny, like very, very tiny, fits in the palm of your hand. I was like, Mom, this is the coolest freaking thing of all time. I need it. This is so cool. I've never seen blown multicolored glass before. It's the freaking sweetest thing ever. Can I have it? I have no idea how much it cost, but it must have been like, I don't know, $5 or something like that. I can only imagine. Otherwise, there's no way she would have bought it. But anyway, I was like cherishing this thing. It was the coolest thing I've ever gotten in the entire history of my life. Well, I get back and I'm holding this thing, and then neighbor's youngest daughter, she's like, oh, what's that? That's really cool. And I'm like, it's my blown glass turtle. And I don't know, it was my mom. Probably my mom was like, hey, you should share it, because she was like, I want to see it. And I'm like, no, this is my blown glass turtle. Nobody else gets this but me. But I don't know. My mom was like, you gotta share it, honey. You gotta be nice. Sharing is caring, child. So what do? What do I freaking do? I hand over this blown glass turtle, this prized, cherished new possession of mine. And she immediately drops it and breaks the leg off. Like instantly. Just instantly happens. And man, I just wish that as a wee lad, as a 5-year-old, I could like express myself in adult coherent languages and sentences, because I would have been like, Mother, I would like to tell you that this is the exact reason why I did not wish to hand my prized possession over to this other child who has very little investment in its well-being. I predicted that this would take place, and therefore, if this was up to me, I would not have shared it. You now owe me a new blown glass turtle. None of this ended up happening. I was just angry. I didn't get a new one, and that was it. That was the end of my blown glass turtle. No more. And just like this was the end of yours, at least you dropped it yourself. I would have much rather that I dropped it myself so it can be my fault. Waited 16 years for phone delivery. Ordered in 2010, delivered in 2026. Nokia phones reached Libyan dealer after 16 years. So, as I said before, I honestly think these could be more collectible now. Like, you basically just got a free sealed investment, right? They're in the package and everything. If you had gotten these in 2010, first off, I didn't even realize they were still selling the bricks in 2010, but I guess they were. And, but if you had gotten these earlier, back then you would have sold them. They would have been whatever they were worth. Now, though, still in their proper packaging and everything, bro, they're probably worth millions of dollars, if I had to guess. Like, it's just a banana, Michael. What could it cost? Probably $1 million. So I think this was actually a cool twist of fate. Instead of a cruel twist of fate, it's a cool twist of fate. Safe to say the date will not happen. Hey, good morning. Hey, I don't think I'll be able to make it today. Oh, what happened? A little tired. Oh, okay. Well, whenever you're free, we'll do it next time. Or if you're not interested, and just tell me. Why being so dramatic? God! I was just asking. Hey, at least the red flag was raised prior to meeting in person. I mean, I guess if you met in person, what's the worst that could happen? It's like, yeah, you mean a public place, ideally, and then it's just like, this isn't working. It's not really hitting it off here. Alternatively, could very well just be a catfish, someone who has no intention of actually meeting ever, and it's just like, I don't know, maybe they'll pig butcher you. Maybe they'll, I don't know, they just want to talk to somebody and then get mean and see what the reaction is, and it's all just a social experiment. But either way, maybe it's better off this way. Well, oh, sorry, do you guys know what pig butchering is? Pig butchering is it's like the scams. It's more common on Instagram because it'll be someone that messages from an account that they have a bunch of fake photos of somebody else. So a catfish, but it's like, oh my God, it's me, Brad Pitt. Oh, I'm in the hospital. I love you so much. Random person who I just messaged on Instagram, but it's me, Brad Pitt. And unfortunately, I've fallen on hard times and I'm in the hospital and I can't afford my medical bill because I, Brad Pitt, have sadly developed a gambling addiction and I've lost all of my money. So you, random person who I have just messaged, please, can I just get $10,000 from you because it is me, Brad Pitt, and I love you. I love you so much. And you just need to send me $10,000 so that I'll be okay, so that eventually we can be together and share our love. That's pig butchering. Anyway, it does happen, unfortunately. And people lose a lot of money. So, anyway, imagine walking out to your car and seeing this. Yeah, I would be not too pleased. Again, happy I've never lived in a place where it snows. And I just all this stuff, bro. All this like, man, now that my entire Reddit mobile feed is just like home maintenance subreddits, because this is apparently all I do with my life is just like, oh, what do I do about this thing? Why is it broken? How do I fix it? Freaking house stuff. And the algorithm has learned, oh, this is what he wants to see. It is just like, frick, guys, this is what my hose looks like, and I hose bib outside. How do I winterize my house? Ah, frick, my hose bib exploded. Oh, how do I winterize my house? Is my house going to be okay if I leave and it gets super, super cold? What am I going to... It's just... And I'm just like, oh my God, thank goodness I don't have to worry about this freaking winterization stuff. Oh yeah, and then people are like... I didn't even think of this, dude. People, they straight up have pool pump disconnects. They're just like, oh yeah, I just take my pool pump into the house in the winter. They just pick it up, take it into the house, and then I guess they cut they have shutoffs to the pipes, but they need to drain all the pipe areas that are above the water, or sorry, above the ground. In the ground, I guess is still cool because it'll be insulated. But I'm just like, oh my God. Oh, I thought that water was a pain to deal with when it remains in liquid form here, but holy frick, you guys have another level of mega pain in the butt, dude. Holy frick. It's so bad. Anyway, pipe busted in front of my car, it got soaked, and now it's stuck. Anyway, yeah, so this is obviously a pipe. It's not like normal, but still totally fricked. Still totally fricked. Yikes. Oh my God. Kara showed me this. Oh my God. Speaking of, oh my God. Oh my God. It's so over. It's never been more over than it is right now. It's oh my God, dude. Oh, is it every sink? Well, the toilet, I guess, is okay. I guess the toilet has room to expand, but oh my God, bro, it's both sinks. How did both sinks go? I like how it looks like it looks like it's frozen in time. Like it froze as it was trickling out, and you just have this frozen, like, I can't yeah, like it's actually frozen in time. That's the look at this thing. Look at this. It looks like this would be a still image as the water is flowing, but it's frozen. Holy frick. Yeah, I'm like, what do you do? How do you... I don't know all of the things that you have to do to winterize a house, but I'm just like, if I ever lived in a single family, I would have to. If I ever lived in a place where it snowed, apartment only. Never, ever could live in a single family home. Apartment with an underground heated parking garage where don't have to worry about shoveling any snow and don't have to worry about any pipes bursting. And how did it burst out of both though? Like, that's so fricked, man. And usually you would expect that something burst into the basement, or maybe one of them burst and broke the valve, but like, holy frick, man. Oh, that's one of the worst things I can ever imagine. My water bill for the month of January, I live alone in a studio. Amount due, $760. Like, that's just your water bill? That's impressive. That is more than our water bill most of the year. Yeah. But in a studio apartment, that is I think you might have a broken valve outside or something like that. Most of the year, question mark. Yeah. Yeah, we have a lot of landscaping, and during the summer, it can be expensive. It was actually this way. I think the last house we were at was actually more expensive than this one. So, yeah. Anyway, a lot of landscaping. I'll tell you, my water bill was pretty cheap at the old house, though, that I was at for many, many years because there wasn't really much landscaping at all. It was just structure. So, the price you pay for pretty greenery, I guess. But anyway, this just, as someone who has a, I would say, very high water bill comparable to the majority of people, this doesn't seem right for a studio apartment. So, anyway. But I mean, look, we should be charged for water usage. So I ain't saying it's a bad thing. I just is what it is, and I'm just like, well, it looks pretty. Delivery driver handed me this, holding back a grin. Can I have the pin, please? What does that mean? Can I have the pin, please? Like the tip? Did this autocorrect tip to pin? What am I missing? Anyway, maybe they meant tip or something. Oh, pin is, oh, a pin for the card. Got it. I have never been asked that before with a delivery, so anyway, maybe a common thing elsewhere, but that's, at least he didn't ask for a tip, right? It was just like, hey, you pay for the pizza, but yeah, I freaked up. So, oh, dude, oh, it's such a bummer. It's actually, I'm impressed. It's the first time it's ever happened, but I had a pizza that was delivered like a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, and it wasn't quite this bad. Although this might actually be in better shape than basically the pizza got delivered. All of the sauce and cheese was all on one side, and there was like nothing on the other side. I was like, I don't even know how you did this, man. But fortunately, it never happened before, but I had already prepaid the tip, and you can't change that afterwards. I was like, great. Then we tried to do like, hey, the food kind of arrived fricked up, send the photo in, and the automated reply is like, here's a $2 credit for your next order. Whatever, man, whatever. It's a wonder it doesn't happen more often. Trapped. Okay, so this is one of those things that looks really funny, but actually seems like you read an article that somebody died because they sat on a trash can and got trapped, and like nobody, like, this is probably a public enough place that if you yelled, someone would see, but this genuinely seems like something where if it happened where no one could see you, that's it. It's just game over. And maybe you could like rock back and forth enough to tip it, but I do think you might be stuck and not able to get out, which is kind of crazy. This is a little terrifying. This is a little terrifying. I mean, also, I don't know why you would necessarily sit on something that just looks like a large tennis ball container, like full commit, but it's impressive. Also, I hope they got out and did not die. Jumping off the dock. Okay, so I think I've seen this, not actually in the last video. I think we've gone past the part where I got to and before realizing, oops, I did this too recently. But I believe the comments here were the Willem the Willem Dafoe gif of him being like, perspective POV of guy in the water. Anyway, you just anyway, all right. My son's first car caught fire 2 hours after he bought it, right in front of the house. Huh. 2018 Pacifica. My son called me to tell me he'd gotten a new car, his first. He came by the house to show us the car and get some mail. When he shut off the car, they shut off the engine, caught fire. Now the van is totaled. Well, on the plus side, in the snow, not going to spread, as opposed to starting a wildfire here in California in the summer. Hopefully he set up his insurance and he didn't delay. He didn't go like, okay, I just picked the car up at the dealership. I'll set up insurance, tomorrow or something like that. And then the car burned down. I wonder if someone omitted some problems on the used car disclosures. Well, I feel like that's going to permanently scar you for ever buying a new car ever again. Like, okay, cool. So I bought my first new car and it blew up immediately. I have trust issues now. The driveway is going to be de-iced at least. Or what's going to happen is the driveway is going to be very icy because the snow is going to melt, get all watery, and then freeze again. So it might actually do worse. Guy walks to a restaurant in the snow just to find out that it's closed. So, is this a watch people die inside moment as well, it seems? So we're getting a real great, guys. This month of Well, That Sucks is an incredible example of why I don't want to live in a place where it snows. It's just repeated examples. You get the car that catches fire, obviously because it was snowing in the area and it just hated it. You get the entire house turning into an ice skating rink. You try to go to a restaurant, it's closed because of freaking snow, and you trekked all the way there and put on all this stuff. You have to deal with so much. Sure, snow can be fun. If you take a trip specifically because you're like, I want to go snowboarding, I want to go skiing, I want to play in the snow. Great. I want to be able to do that, get my fill, leave. I do not want to have snow in a non-consensual fashion. Okay? And that's, I think, the moral of the story. Here's another one. I just moved to Ohio from Texas. What the fork? There's a leak in the water main on the street where I'm parked. People kept driving by and splashing my car. By the time I got the tow truck out here, the ice was caked on a few inches thick. Also, if there was a water main break in the snow, like, wouldn't just the entire freaking place just turn into ice? I guess if you don't have salt in the road, it would be fine, but god dang. Yep, another reminder that I don't want to live in the snow. Don't want to do it. He's like, frick. I just came from a place where there's not that much snow usually, and when it does snow, it's really, really bad and everything breaks. But now I'm in a place where it does snow. Dang it. Came home to a car in my pool. Fortunately, everyone is fine. Never thought I'd see a whole butt sedan submerged in a pool, but here we are. Wow. That's unfortunate. I've thought about this. I've thought about this in house purchases. Well, at least this house purchase, because I didn't really think about it in previous house purchases. And like with the layout of house relative to street, to where if somebody was being an idiot, not paying attention, is there a chance that they would drive the car into our house or into our property? And the answer is, to the house I was in for a really long time, theoretically could happen. The house that we were in before this, absolutely. If someone really fricked up, they could totally have, it would have been a really bad one, but yeah, they could totally just freaking drive right over. Big drop, but then they'd be right into our house. The house here, not so much. So one less thing to have to worry about. Yes, there's always water, but at least not likely a car. Actually, you know what? No, knock on wood. I'm thinking it's unlikely. No, but it could. There is a way that someone could do something very stupid and end up in our driveway. It would be monumentally stupid. It'd be impressive. but it could happen. There is a way. It's just more challenging and more unlikely than at the other houses. Yeah. Though I will say, driving their car into the pool, they'd have to be trying very hard in a gigantic military unimog in order to make that happen. So I would say that one's unlikely, at least for the pool. But anyway, hey, you know what? At least what didn't happen here is they didn't drive into the pool, and then the pool froze because it's winter, and then you had a car frozen over in your ice block. Which I honestly thought might have been what would happen, given all the other posts here. All right, and then the top for the last month, I wore a white headband in my Costco ID profile photo. All right, nothing to do with winter, you guys. Although maybe it is to do with winter. Maybe the reason why she was wearing a headband is because it's winter and it was cold and she forgot to take it off and the photo was fricked up and overexposed. And the reason why this happened is because winter. Winter in frozen environments, it ruins everything. And that is the moral of our story. If it hadn't been winter, it wouldn't have been cold. She wouldn't have worn it and she wouldn't have ended up looking like someone trying to impersonate a human. And it's a good question. Are we sure she's wearing a headband? Are we sure? Because it does look seamless. Anyway, that's it for Well, That Sucks. Make sure to like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.